Alan, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning is now in theaters for its debut weekend on Memorial Day. Uh, Tom Cruise is on a tear. He is on a tear doing press, showing up at screenings and talking to theater staff. He is like the president of Hollywood, just a huge cheerleader for the industry. We can now talk spoilers. I saw the film a second time. Actually enjoyed it better because I knew to kind of check out for the first hour. First hour kind of feels like a greatest hits of everything Mission Impossible. There's a lot of clips from previous movies in the series. The film connects things, everything from the rabbit's foot to that iconic scene from the first Mission Impossible when he pulls off that heist floating above the floor. It's an image that you remember from that movie. It was on the posters, in the trailers, all the marketing. It connects all of those things in, some might say, a convoluted way. I mean, the whole thing is convoluted and ridiculous, but the two main action scenes, getting the hard drive from the sub, intense. That was fantastic. And the final chase scene with the two planes was great, with Tom Cruise hanging off the plane.
69.
Which was real. I'm sure there was removal of harnesses so he wouldn't fall. And
so he wouldn't die, yes.
So he wouldn't die, yes. But I love those action scenes. At the screening in my second viewing of it, people loved it. There were people who loved it. People were like, eh. But for the most part, I think people are enjoying the movie. Any thoughts on this now? Kind of a re-review here with spoilers. We can talk open spoiler discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned it before as well. This is definitely the worst of the best. So you take the best Mission Impossible movies. This is at the bottom of that list. It definitely watching the movie. It definitely felt different from all the other Mission Impossible movies, and I mentioned last time, it just felt claustrophobic. It felt up close and tight. Opening scene takes place in a tunnel. The next one takes place in a cabin, and then on a submarine, and then in a single prop airplane. Very tight, close spaces. Where in the last one, you had the chase scene, you had the chase through the city. It just felt open and big, like you can breathe. And this one, it just felt uptight and close. And I don't say that as a negative, but I say that as it's the reason for me why it felt different and off compared to the other good Mission Impossible movies. It definitely had the tone of, hey, this is the last one. But it wasn't overtly that way. You just kind of felt it.
Yeah, in series of movies, when they start to hug, it's the last one. Whether it's like any like long series where you're like, I can't believe they made a lot of these movies. When they're hugging, they're not making any more. And they hug in this movie a lot. Yeah, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, you're right. It stands in contrast to Dead Reckoning, which I watched before I saw this.
To all of them.
Which is big. It's humorous. There's funny situations. The chase scene in Italy in that tiny car with Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell.
Yeah, handcuffed together. They're in a tiny car, but the chase scene felt big.
Yeah, it felt big. That it's like, so I think Dead Reckoning was in retrospect a lot better than we thought. I think the AI being the villain, it doesn't add a face to the villain. And Gabriel was probably not as menacing. He was kind of
he was not in it as much as the last one.
And also Final Reckoning, you're right, it felt small, whereas Dead Reckoning felt big and it was fun. This lacked the fun. It was much more serious tone. Of course, we have a main character that meets an end, which is always a warning that like other characters may meet their end. There is a character that you don't see him a lot in the clips. But yeah, Ving Rhames as Luther passing away and kind of
Yeah.
offering a final message to Ethan Hunt
Mhm.
is
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna kill that
poetic
character,
and feels like. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, if that character's gonna get killed off early in the movie, then why couldn't he then reprise his role in Lilo and Stitch? That's all I'm saying.
Oh, that's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, uh, but when it comes to action, that scene, I was sitting next to people that were watching the final scene with the two planes, and
Mhm.
they were just like this. They were scared Tom Cruise was going to die. That's how intense it was. So, uh, so look, I still recommend it. I think you could come into the movie almost an hour late, right? There's a lot of meetings and a lot of explaining stuff that doesn't really make sense. Like if here's what doesn't make sense upon second viewing. It's like it really stands out. Gabriel has this thing from Luther, right? That will hack the hard drive.
Yeah.
He knows Ethan Hunt has the hard drive. Why is he running away from him? It's so dumb. It doesn't make sense. What the heck? It's like just we need each other. You have the hard drive. I have this, flash drive. We need each other. Just find a way to make that work. But it had to be this big chase scene. Really, the more you think about it, like, why didn't they just? But no, Gabriel, and he acts maniacal. I do love the way that he meets his end.
Yeah.
He gets a big laugh from the audience.
Oh
A
yeah.
big laugh. But
By the way, if I ever need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, Haley Atwell, please come to the rescue.
right. Well, that even like is glossed over. They spend all this time like, look, you're going to go through excruciating pain.
Yeah.
You are going to get the bends. Things are going to hurt. And then that scene is glossed over like it's a dream sequence where he's like resuscitated back to life. Is like, oh, we're in this little thing
Yeah.
together. Oh, I'm okay. Like, I thought he was gonna die. Like, and they didn't really. I thought if you're gonna drag out one scene, there's all the prep, there's all the like
Yeah.
briefings about what's gonna happen to you. There's the sub, he barely makes it, and then him coming out of it is like, hey, you're good. Like
Yeah.
that they really emphasize that. And it's like,
I know.
all
Well, I
right.
mean, how long do you think? Okay, starting from the explanation of what needed to happen on the submarine, how long was that sequence? I'm gonna venture a guess it was well over a half an hour. The
Right,
entire,
right.
the entire, if not an hour. And that's the interesting thing about it. It's different in the sense of they set you up for what is going to happen on the submarine, of the worst thing that's going to happen to you. And right from the beginning of when they talk about the submarine to the end of it, it's just nothing but anxiety inducing. Because it's like going to the dentist or getting a shot or giving blood. Your mind works yourself up so much before the actual event that causes a lot of stress and anxiety. And then you have the actual event where he has to go in, where Murphy's law is in play, where everything that can go wrong will go wrong. He gets the hard drive and then he gets out, which is another anxiety inducing sequence. This is just,
Well,
it had to be an hour long, and it was very effective in terms of being stressful.
this could have been 2 hours and change, not 2 hours and 50. A shorter version of this movie would have worked better. There's way too much justifying. It's so convoluted, and the more you think about it, it doesn't make sense. Just have them chase. He needs the flash drive.
No,
Just
yeah,
just
no, yeah,
keep it simple, stupid. But if I was gonna go on a mission, Alan, you would be part of my team.
yeah.
I am thinking about doing a limited edition, like coffee table book, like a Taschen book that'll reprint I want to call the book "The Worst of Film Threat." And then
Good morning, Mr. Ng. The target is Chris Gore, film connoisseur and career rambler. His plan is to continue rambling until there is no time left to review movies. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to move on with the show and prevent him from rambling the globe into a full-scale world war. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds.
So there you go.
We got films to get to.
We got films to get to.
Oh my gosh, someone went way in the past to do that.
Anyways, Alan, look, I still give it a recommendation. They need to be seen on the big screen. IMAX I like IMAX. It's better than 3D as a gimmick. IMAX is a treat for me. I love it. But what do you think? You still recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's, like I said, not the greatest, but it's still a lot of fun. It's different. Let's just you'll watch it and you'll feel it's a little bit off, but it's not bad enough to say it's
I think the main weakness is it's a dramatic shift in tone from what was part one of this story.
Yeah.
Like the humor went away and it got convoluted, and AI is probably not the best choice for a villain, but I would still recommend it and see it in IMAX.
I mean, you're right. Not having a face to your villain definitely hurt it. You know, I think when Henry Cavill was the bad guy in 2 movies ago, that he was throughout most of the movie, and you had something to focus on. There's something to be said about being able to put a face to a villain.
Well, and I'll end with this before we go to your comments. I have a clip that a friend of mine sent me that is kind of crazy. It's Tom Cruise. My friend was at the Cannes Film Festival, went to a panel. Tom Cruise was there. Not only he does his own stunts, right? He does his own insert shots. Okay, you know when an insert shot is the shot of a hand holding a drive or a hand picking something up, or he will do here. Watch this video clip real quick from my friend.
He does all his own camera. If anytime you see a hand or a foot on a foot pedal, that's Tom Cruise. Yes, I know. Anyone could wear the shoe. No one would know. But there is performance in it. There is intention in it. And having tried to do it without Tom, I can tell you it gets done a lot faster because it's Tom's shoe.
I think that's great. That shows his dedication. So he does his own stunts and his own insert shots. And if you're if you make films, that's it can take a long time to do like the most simple shot, like dropping a wallet or picking something up with a hand. To get it just right is time consuming.
Yeah. I mean, we can argue over whether Tom Cruise is a movie star or not, but the reality is he loves movies.
No, I don't think we can argue that. He is a movie star. I think what the debate is he the last movie star? I would argue Brad Pitt is a star. I mean, there's still stars, but they're few and they're very few these days. So and most of the stars that are real stars don't really participate much on social media. And Tom Cruise really is someone to look up to. Something to look up to in terms of how to promote a movie and how to reach out to fans.